Stray gameplay requirements. What's unique? It's not a normal day when PC gaming enthusiasts play an adventure game whose main protagonist is a cat. Yes, a cat. You heard right. But that's what the game Stray is all about. Cats and other animals are often relegated to the role of supportive characters, mere pets who players cannot interact with at the worst. But Stray changes all that by having a nameless cat be the game's protagonist. So what is this game, and what will it feel like to be a cat in a cyberpunk city of the future and solve mysteries roaming around as that cat? What are the basic system requirements to play, and how are its reviews? Hey everyone, welcome back to Unlimited Money. Today, we're talking about the much-awaited game Stray. Are you ready to know? Without delaying any further, let's get started. And before that, make sure you please hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new updates from our channel. Playing as a cat isn't entirely a brand new concept, but regardless, Stray managed to form it both interesting and fun thanks to how the sport progresses and what players can do throughout their journey during a cyberpunk city inhabited by humanoid machines. One recurring sight when it involves animals and pets in video games is that players sometimes can't actually pet them, offer them food, or allow them to warm by the hearth or anything of that sort. Stray does the alternative because the player's character can go and request some cuddles from the machines, or maybe sit on comfy pillows and hear street musicians. That's what makes Stray truly unique, because the story and also the world become immersive, because the protagonist could be a very accurate representation of a cat, who also blends in well with the sci-fi narrative of the game. As one would imagine, the cat protagonist in Stray also happens to scratch a couch and make a multitude of things that players can interact with to resolve puzzles and platforming challenges. A brand new gameplay trailer for Stray was released some days ago during the Annapurna Interactive Showcase, and it includes sequences where the cat protagonist can move and throw objects around, like pushing a bucket into an air conduction fan to dam it, and obtain safe passage through pipes. That's something cats actually tend to try and do in the world, moreover, with a number of them learning a way to open doors, reach places up high, or just fit into tiny bowls. The way Stray portrays the cat and a cute little drone named B12 makes for an innovative experience, and progression also makes the feline's temper more credible. The furry protagonist doesn't seem to completely understand how the machine people live their lives, and just goes around doing whatever floats its boat. No matter the target, the cat can always ask someone for cuddles or speak to the machine humanoids, so be finished once they do not bear any interest. This is often typical cat behavior, so Stray nails it. As such, completing quests and helping NPCs is what takes it to work out Stray's story through. But it also offers a special tackle on how cats perceive and relate to people, and therefore the world around them. In Stray, the feline initially struggles when attacked by a swarm of creatures that appear to even be a relevant threat to the inhabitants of the town. The lovable protagonist should be agile to flee from these enemies, but this soon changes because the cat obtains some form of laser that's able to quickly eliminate the swarm creatures. Lastly, thanks to the way that the game is seemingly set to figure, this is very likely that Stray will be an improbable title to play on PS5 because of the DualSense controller. Haptic feedback, 3D audio, and adaptive triggers could all sway and be invaluable assets to a game that already seems to pack something new and entertaining for animal lovers and general game enthusiasts alike. Now let's talk about what are the basic system requirements. And before that, make sure you subscribe to our channel if you not have already done so. The basic needs are like you need a minimum Windows 64-bit operating system. And for the CPU, you can minimally take the Intel Core i5S 2550K or the AMD FX 8350, whereas the recommended is Intel Core i5 8400 or AMD Ryzen 5 2600. The minimum RAM needed is 8GB. You also need a GPU, which can be a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 780 or an AMD Radeon R9 290X. According to Blue 12 Studios' Stray system requirements, you'll run the game on a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 650Ti and GPU that's almost a decade old. Naturally, you're visiting and need something a touch newer to play with higher settings enabled, but the developer recommends a GTX 780 so you can continue to not splash out on the simplest graphics card. In terms of RAM, you're visiting need a gaming PC with a minimum of 8GB to play as a cat. While the game's memory requirements aren't unreasonable, you may have to revamp your rig if it's a rather older build. You'll also only need 10 gigabytes of space to put in Stray, which suggests you won't necessarily need the simplest SSD for gaming. Stray is now available for shop on Steam, and also the game's on Steam Deck verified, meaning it'll play nice with Valve's portable powerhouse, which you'd perhaps expect given its PC controller support and forgiving specs. Again, it won't take much to play this cat caper, but if you're looking to claw the maximum amount of performance possible, take a look at our greatest Stray settings for PC and Steam Deck. Take the Stray system requirements to test over PC Game Benchmark to answer the question, am I able to run Stray? And let me know in the comment box, what does it say? Now let's actually talk about the game. It's important to notice in Stray the hero is simply a customary, everyday cat. It's not a cat that's been imbued with unique powers, or is often upgraded with various cybernetic enhancements, or evolved into some form of mutant. It's an everyday household ginger cat, and it plays like one. You're frequently given the chance to try and do regular cat activities, from scratching sofas and rugs, to drinking from puddles, and sleeping on anything that appears even vaguely comfortable. There's actually a trophy for napping for an entire real-world hour. And an avid meow button allows you to audibly express yourself whatever you're feeling. Will prefer it. You're likely to spend your first 30 close to minutes with the Stray enamored with scratching everything in view and hammering the meow button until you've heard each audio clip multiple times. However, doing the very things that cats often do does get old pretty fast, and after the primary few chapters, these opportunities to precise your inner catness feel more like distractions than meaningful game mechanics. You'll end up leaving surfaces unscratched quicker than you may expect. Thankfully, there's more to Stray than simply interacting with the planet as a cat would. Although the game does keep things a little bit too simple throughout, platforming may be a big part of how you traverse the town. Jumping is often contextual, and one button press automatically guides you from one place to a different one. This makes it impossible to fail any platforming sequence, as there's no things to mistiming your jumps. Stray can even feel quite restricted during some platforming sections because the route your cat must follow is just too heavily guided. Stray looks fantastic on the PlayStation 5. From the highly detailed environments to the fluid, almost unnervingly lifelike animations of the playable cat, watching Stray in action could be a constant pleasure. Creating a convincing playable cat was clearly Blue 12 Studios' top priority, and in this area, the team has done an outstanding job. Cat lovers are visiting immediately to fall infatuated with this digital feline, and also the way it scampers across rooftops and nuzzles up against robots is usually pretty adorable. Yet the visual star of the show isn't the cat, but the cyberpunk city you venture through. Each inch of the game's world feels handcrafted, and therefore the contrast between futuristic neon and ever-grown nature is striking. Stray is the sort of game that's absolutely begging for a photographing mode, making the dearth of one at launch one a true missed opportunity. The game also sounds great with its mostly low-key soundtrack fitting the relaxed vibe. There's also a robot you'll meet too soon within the game with a metal guitar who can play pieces you discover within the world. Paying attention to these tunes offers a good excuse to place down the controller and just zone out for a second. Hey, I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. We sincerely hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click the like button. Make sure you share it with your friends and family. And also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you'll see even more of our incredible videos. Hey, we'll catch up with you in our next video. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming!